It's time to wake up. This is your wake up call. We have something going on. There are all of these catastrophes and natural disasters that they're making look like natural disasters, but they are not. They're actually attacks on the U.S. citizens. They're actually destroying areas so then they can move in and take them. I've done many videos on this, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly the science of how they do it. In my other videos, I talked about it, but in this video, I'm going to tell you about how they create these storms, how they power them up, how they steer them, and you're going to see every time that when something happens, these are areas that they've already mapped out, that they've got plans for. Today, I'm wearing my Godzilla t-shirt because Godzilla was a man-made terror that was created by man effing around with nature and then went on to destroy whole cities. He's fictional. Sadly, this is for real. This is really happening. This is the real world. Today, we're going to talk about rapid intensification of these hurricanes, how they're created and become category ones, then category fives within 24 hours. We're going to talk about how this all started around 2005 with Katrina. This rapid intensification thing is not natural. It is created, and I'm going to show you step by step how they do it. These guys are amazing. They are very, very awesome. I'm going to shout out to everybody that's involved with this video. I have not seen it. I have been sent it. So here we go. Without further ado, here we go.
Over to Shane to go into the details of Hurricane Milton.
All right. So, as you just heard, Milton is a category 5 now, which was completely unexpected. And according to the spaghetti models, it's looking like it's going to track towards Tampa, but actual landfall could be anywhere between Tampa Bay and Cape Coral. And so, anyone along the area between Tampa and Cape Coral should be prepared. And I would say to even know your elevation. And if you're below 30 feet of elevation, then I would get to higher ground because the storm surge from a category 5 can be 25 to 30 feet high. So if you're below 30 feet elevation and a cat 5 brings storm surge to your area, you're going to be underwater. All right. So now we've seen the track for that, but I want to talk about the intensity. So originally, Hurricane Milton was only predicted to be a category 2 or 3 storm. Most models were putting it as category 3. There was like 2 models that predicted it could reach a category 4, but none of the models predicted a category 5 to spring up out of the storm. And so it's undergone rapid intensification in the Gulf of Mexico, which is kind of a newer phenomenon. And I went to the Google Trends to actually see like how new of a phenomenon this was. April 2007 was the first time rapid intensification had ever been Googled. And then, as you can see, over the years, it did happen again in like 2012. And then there was a few of them between 2016 and 2017. But then, now it's also on the rise. So I just wanted to point out that
So, rapid intensification wasn't even a word, wasn't even a thing. You saw there that he Googled it, and around 2007, it starts to pop up. But that's probably the first time the word started getting tossed around. The first time it happened was with Katrina. Katrina popped up out of nowhere, and within 24 hours went from a tropical depression into a hurricane. And so we're going to see that this is a very new phenomenon, and we're going to see that every time this happens, these Gulf hurricanes, there's like super tankers in the Gulf, and they're starting from a certain area, and we're going to actually see on the weather radar the all of this clouds coming out of nowhere, and then we're going to see that that's where it starts, and then it's in the same spot, and we're going to see there's tens, if not hundreds of super tankers all sitting in that area.
Point out that the term rapid intensification was pretty much non-existent before April of 2007. All right. So now to the storm itself. I want to show injected convection. So you see this convective activity that's coming in from the east edge of the storm where the arrow's pointing, and it's like it's being sprayed in there, injected in there, pumped in there, whatever you want to call it. But these clouds look like they're coming from a point source in the ocean, and they're flowing up into the storm and causing a lot of convective activity. All right, so now we have seen this in the past, And I want to introduce again Bruce Douglas, who is someone who we've mentioned on this show before, but he went into some detail on the Hurricane Otis rapid intensification. So I want to give a little bit of background. Hurricane Otis was the most rapidly intensifying storm in history, in recorded history, where it went from a tropical storm to a Category 5 in less than 24 hours. Now, Bruce is going to give his 2 cents on why that might be.
Let's take a look. We're going to slow it down here. So this is the tropical storm. And I'm seeing these little sudden bursts of clouds going and then dissipating. Like it looks like they're trying to whip something up. I see this burst right here happening. And so here's a little burst, kind of coming out of nowhere, But what's most interesting is what happens when a big aerosol comes in from the side. All the yellow is extremely dense material. And then there's 5 hours missing, and then it suddenly jumps into a hurricane, like within a short amount of time. Within a few hours time, it spins up, and as it moves closer to shore, it speeds up into a full Class 5 hurricane. Kaboom, it nails Acapulco, quickly breaks up, and then there's these aerosol releases off the shore.
All right, so as you saw, Bruce was showing that there was some aerosols appearing to be like injected into the storm, which was convecting and adding to the strength and the density of the storm as well. So I just want to show this video one more time before. Now this is Hurricane Milton. This is probably from yesterday or the day before, but you can see injected convective activity. So now what could that be? Well, we have a video from Real Life Fishing, and he's a fishing boat captain who knows the Gulf very well, and he's going to give his explanation.
Greenpeace obviously knows about these bunker ships that's in the ocean. That looks like forest fires. Just one of 2 pictures of bunker ships that I do have. There is literally hundreds of these ships out on the Gulf of Mexico with unlimited power, like I showed in my previous video of fuel. I really think all this individual stuff's bunker ships out here. Let's look at the marine tracker, see if there's any idle out here. Okay, warriors, at 12 minutes, I appreciate y'all, but this is truly what makes me angry. Super tankers sitting here out of gear. What are they doing? Right in the middle of a hurricane, gonna take it out of gear. Right here is where the hurricane is creating. Where I think all the smoke is coming from. Every one of these red ones are super tankers. Every single one of these red ones. 12 knots, that one's moving. But who said they can't be moving with the smoke? 2 knots, he ain't going nowhere. Two knots, he's not going anywhere. What is going on out here where these hurricanes are? 1.2 knots, he's not going anywhere. Why are all these super tankers sitting out here in the ocean not moving? Where the storm is being built. They have ships out here pumping this material out. There's no reason for these ships to be out of gear at 1 knot. Super tankers. Bunker ships. They're controlling our weather. Got all the bunker ships out here to do it. That one's at 12 knots. I believe all the ones at 12 knots and all, that's cruising speed. They're going somewhere. But these ones at 1 knot doesn't make any sense. There's tons of 1 knotters out here. 1 knot's you walk faster than that. This is a land grab. There's a target on the people. We are being attacked, and it's worldwide, my friends.
All right, so that was his first video on the bunker ships, also known as super tankers, who can sit idle and run their engines and create clouds, basically. And these clouds get sucked or convected into the storm and add to the density of the storm. Now, he did also, later on that day, he reiterated, he went into more detail on these boats, and I'm going to show that now.
I had a great question from a warrior. They want to know what these people are burning on these bunker ships. It is bunker fuel. Almost an endless supply. They can hold hundreds of thousands of gallons. Each one of these machines, there's 2 of them aboard this vessel. But here is their testing facility. They claim it's a rocket engine testing facility, which it may be, but they also produce rain with these same technologies. This is quite loud. They can produce rain with these equipments. They come in many, many forms. This is another one I'm going to show you here that can be put on top of mountains. I believe it was in Mexico this winter that gave Florida continuous cloud cover. These billionaires are phenomenal wealthy, but here is the cloud makers, and this is nothing clean about this. That is a lie.
Now, the most amazing thing is that that cloud up there, which was generated by the engine, is just a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. It's water vapor. And in about an hour's time, someone in Mississippi is going to get wet washing. It will actually rain. I told you. It's raining. That's unbelievable. Oh, NASA's playing God. It's making its own weather.
So I did want to bring up these technologies are not top secret. These patents and things, I don't want to go into it again, but we've done a lot of content on the patents and this technology, and it's public knowledge. It's nothing kept secret. It's just a lot of people aren't paying attention to them and connecting the dots.
All right.
And
so
then
that
the guy that just did that one, I don't know his name, but we'll put his channel in the description, and please go head over and subscribe to him. He's doing a really amazing work, and he has a smallish channel. So he's got a lot of good content there.
Yeah, I'm going to put the link for his channel and some of his videos in the description. The channel name is Real Life Fishing, and he's doing a good job keeping up on this. He's a warrior. All right. So now, speaking of warriors, I want to go back to Into Thin Air.
Real Life Fishing. Go check out his channel. Go show him some love. And these guys are Brush Junkie. Go show them some love. Please subscribe to me. Show me some love. Subscribe. Share. We've got to get this information out. She said this is not top secret information. This is not top secret technology. This is all patented technology. We saw what they're doing there. They got these bunker ships sitting out in the Gulf, just burning fuel and burning water, bringing it up into, they all get in a formation. They all put this stuff in the air. All of this convection, probably with maybe some other additive that's in their fuel. Maybe some type of aluminum oxide or something, some type of nanoparticles. That's speculation. But if there's some type of metallic particles in there, they may then be able to spin this stuff with HARP or other things. They also said that Otis went dark for 5 hours. We're going to see over and over again that these hurricanes and these Maui fires, they go dark. The satellite information is censored. Something else is going on. Now, we do know that there's direct energy weapons in space over the Earth. They may be firing one of these very powerful direct energy weapons into these storms to then get them spinning. That is not crazy. Machio Kaku, the very well-known, world-famous physicist, was talking about this in the early 2000s, trillion-watt lasers, and we're seeing that happening with Maui and the panhandle of Texas, the Grand Tetons, the fires in California. This is an attack. This needs to be dealt with. The Navy needs to send the Navy SEALs into the Gulf and board every one of these ships and take them all. And they need to hit these spots there in Mexico that are creating these clouds in Mexico that then float over Florida and cool off Florida and terraform and engineer everything. This is a travesty. There are people that are being deleted by the hundreds because of this technology, and it's time for you to wake up. It's time for us to do something about it. So we're going to continue on. Sorry, this just truly pisses me off. This pisses me off. I hate this. I hate being right. I hate being right. I wish I wasn't right. I wish I was wrong. I have known that this has been coming for 20 years. I've been talking about it, and people look at me like I'm crazy. Even me knowing it was coming, I'm still stunned. I knew it was coming, and I'm still having a hard time processing it. So I know people that don't know about any of this stuff are having a hard time processing it. We will continue. So we saw that they are using ships to make these deals. Now we're going to get into some more information.
He's doing a good job keeping up on this. He's a warrior. All right. So now, speaking of warriors, I want to go back to Into Thin Air. He just did an update today on Hurricane Milton.
These residents, stores, and buildings that do not want to move. So what happens when residents do not want to give up their land? Well, just like Hawaii, as coincidence may have it, quote unquote coincidence, Mother Nature kicks in and helps them move, helps them leave. Now, when I say Mother Nature, of course I'm being sarcastic. Well, Hurricane Helene just happened to ravage the area. This area was the most impacted by Hurricane Helene. We are talking about towns wiped off the map.
All right. So contrary to popular belief.
But the most telling of that was the reaction. They're not helping the people up there. They don't want to create this thing and then wipe them out just to help them stay unalived up there. And so they're not sending FEMA. They're not sending stuff. You got the VP taking photo ops in front of planes, C-117s full of supplies, and then not sending the supplies. Sean Meyer talked about that. Then the next day they said, "Oh yeah, that plane went." Don't believe it. We have got videos of Black Hawks buzzing the recovery areas, buzzing the FEMA. FEMA's not helping. They're actually taking the supplies. It's time to wake up. So that's it. We're going to get on out of here. By the way, Albemarle and Vanguard, BlackRock. Wasn't it Vanguard that shorted the 12 million shares of True Social a couple of days before Trump almost got deleted? They have to move so fast now that they're not able to cover their tracks, and they don't even care. It's time to wake up, go out and vote. Let's get this done. Let's get Trump in before this has to get kinetic. We'll see you on the next Ultra Top Secret. Please like, share, and subscribe.